Hi guys, and welcome to episode 17 of the Spfl RTG on FC25. As you can see, there's a few changes to the starting 11 in terms of evolutions, as well as some pretty big choices in terms of evolutions that have taken place as well. So as you can see, we've got Anna Engels in place of Graham Carey at the moment. He went into an Evo that severely boosts his defending, more so than anything else, but also his pace. So we've got to 89 rated. Danny Armstrong, of course, 92 rated instead of 88 rated. He went into the Evo that dropped on the Thursday night. And as much as it didn't boost all that many stats, gave him a couple of play styles and got him up to a nice 92 instead of an 88. And Dan Casey is in the process of finishing off his evolutions for the centre-half chain Evo that came in. So it's the final 3 games of champs I'm going to be showing. As you can see, if we win all 3, we will get those 11 wins. But before we get into that, I don't usually do this, but I wanted to show a nice goal in the build-up from Danny Armstrong. He's been a big player since getting that big boost. A nice wee flick over the top of the defender, as you can see, fired into the back of the net. I'm really enjoying how the team's playing now with the players that we have at our disposal. But as you can see, we go into the first game here. That Zidane was featured in pretty much almost every game that we did play on this weekend league here. However, we do look to start off positively. Yanis Hadji with the ball through to Daisen Maeda, who is one of 3 players of a 90+ rating in the starting 11 now. He moves as a goalie, and we lay it off to Danny Armstrong. Nice, easy finish, 1-0 to the RTG. We look to try and get a quick-fire second. Kyogo is tackled pretty easily. Sancho gets a wee bit away with it there with the tackle. He drives forward. Socrates here. I'm a bit disappointed in Casemiro's defending there. Palmer does score to make it 1-1. Not great, because I feel like we'd been on top at that point. The momentum did continue with us, but then he does win the ball there. Pretty poor from us. And defending-wise, the pass split us open a wee bit easily. Neto fires across, and I would expect Butland to be doing better. That's definitely one position that we definitely need to upgrade very soon, hopefully. But we do make it 2-2. Kyogo, nice first-time finish into the bottom corner. Of course, at the time of recording, he has now officially left Celtic. But as long as he's got a Celtic card, we can still evolve him if he fits into any other Evos. And of course, Jota has gone back to Celtic, so that's a very good prospect for evolutions down the line, you would say. Poor defending from us again, but again, I'd expect Jack Butland to do better in that situation, and we go 3-2 down. I don't feel as though I deserve to be losing this game at this point, despite a couple of poor moments there. Goalkeepers had a pretty good game in comparison, and then Neto once again scores, and I expect Butland to be doing a lot better there. So half-time or 4-2 down, but I wanted to see the stats itself, 0.8 XG, and we've conceded 4. I didn't feel as though I deserved to be losing at half-time at least. Maybe the head dipped a little bit though, because we do end up going 5-2 down. Jadon Sancho with a bit of close control, 1-2 with Palmer. He gives it to Socrates, and then he fires in, although again I feel as though Butland maybe could have done better there. He's faced 5 shots practically, and all 5 have gone in, so it's not great from that point of view. Although unless we get an informed goalie or a promo card goalie, I don't see how we'll be replacing him anytime soon. But we do get one back through Yanis Hadji, and we pause to make some changes to try and get the 2 goals to get back into the game. Unfortunately, it's not the case as he goes forward with Palmer. Socrates here, poor defending from our part. We get a little bit too narrow, allowing him in, and then Palmer just skips away. And that one I'm not going to blame Butland for, 6-3. And there's not enough time, you would say, to get back into the game. We're just playing for a little bit of pride at this moment. Second half, this guy's performance was much better. And on the balance of playing the second half, potentially deserved to win the game overall. But on that first half display, I didn't feel as though I deserved to be losing 4-2 at halftime. I didn't even think I should have been losing at halftime. But that's the 11 wins gone in the first game. We're looking to see if we can get back-to-back 10 wins on the channel, on video anyway. Of course, it would be just only the second time we've got it on video, but we've done it a few times this year. It's the 11 wins that have been elusive to us so far. A little bit poor from us, giving him the ball back. He runs down the line with his Theo Hernandez, and Wayne Rooney chest and hits back of the net, 1-0. Not a good start for us if we want to get that 10 wins. Danny Armstrong picks the ball up though, gives it to Maida, out wide to Penrice to try and create some width. Waiting for him to come and try and close us down. Maida finds Armstrong. We get a bit of luck there, as you would see, but Armstrong's not going to miss from there. Fires it into the back of the net for 1-1. Bit of a slice of luck, but how the last game went, I think it's maybe deserved. Arnott Engels gives it to Armstrong. Hadji through for Maida. Great touch to get away from his man. Gives it to Kyogo. Fires it back across for 2-1. We take the lead. And deservedly so, I would say. We were on top in this game. Poor delivery from the corner from me, though, has to be said. And Courtois throws it right up to Wayne Rooney, who chests it away from Alistair Johnson. We try and cover with Penrice and try and get across with Dan Casey, but he fires into the back of the net for 2-2. At this point, I was quite disappointed that I'd let him back into the game. But almost straight away we respond. James Penrice looking for some space down the line. Hadji gives it to Maida. Finds Mo Silla. Gives it to Arnott Engels, and a really nice 1-2 there. They give it back to Engels, who fires into the back of the net. 3-2 up just before half-time. We get another opportunity here. Engels for Johnson. Gives it to Mo Silla. Finds Dan Casey. Tries to find Kyogo. Again, we get a bit of a luck with the bounce there. Hadji, a little bit of composure. La Croqueta, and fires into the back of the net. 4-2 up just before half-time. Into the second half now. Penrice for Casemiro finds Mo Silla. Hadji through for Armstrong, skips away from his man, plays a lovely ball through to Kyogo, who tries to chip the goalie, and this is maybe some of the worst goalkeeping I saw this weekend, which is saying a lot when we've had Jack Butland in goals, who's just been terrible for weeks and weeks now. But I'll take it, especially after some of the luck that we've had previously. Kyogo finds Maida, open goal, easy finish, 6-2, and you'd feel as though with the time left, the game is done and dusted, and it's going to come down to the final game to see if we get those 10 wins. But we're not finished yet in front of goal. Diamande plays the ball to Dyson-Maida out wide, skips away from his man, gives it to Palma, who gives it to Olasanya, who gets in on the action as well, putting us 7-2 up in the game. Dan Casey wins it. Martin Boyle through for Olasanya. Skips away from that Kunate, turns back inside. Luis Palma does get tackled, in fairness to him. Great tackle, but Martin Boyle gives it to Maida. Open goal, 8-2. And at that point, I'm still surprised that this guy's in the game, but not only is he still in the game, he goes up and scores with Bruno Fernandes. Really nice finish, green timed. Jack Butland didn't even move. Although if he did, I don't think he would have kept out anyway. But an 8-3 win going into the final game of Champs, and then you go into the final game and you see this team in front of you. A 91 Nico Williams, that Zidane, and a first owner Mo Salah, and Team of the Year Mbappe. Not what you want to see going into the final game. And something that you definitely don't want to do when they've got that calibre player is just gift them a goal. We pass it right to Zidane, who gives it to Mbappe, and Team of the Year Mbappe, 50 million coins, not going to miss from there. Horrible, horrible start to the game. However, we keep the head. We go forward here. Hadji gives it to Maida, plays the 1-2 for Hadji, creates himself some space with a little fake drag back, gives it to Danny Armstrong with that finesse plus, and fires it into the top corner, which is why I didn't choose Martin Boyle for the Evo as well. Could have given it to Czerny, but I wanted to get a big boost to a player from one of the clubs outside the top two, so we can get to that stage where we've got a team with as many different teams represented as possible, if not all 12 with one member on the bench. Dyson Maida, also with his finesse plus, puts us 2-1 up into the second half here. Danny Armstrong does well on the wing to keep possession, skips back inside for Arnott Engels, plays a ball through to Maida, and a great layoff for Kyogo, who fires it into the back of the net for 3-1. Good interception from Hadji, and then he goes down the wing here to try and create the space, gives it back to Engels. Good close control from him to keep the ball, and a lovely pass through for Danny Armstrong. Great bit of skill to create the space, and Hadji fires into the back of the net, and that was actually enough for this guy. 4-1 the final score, and for 2 weekends in a row we finished back-to-back 10 and 5, and the rewards, as I'm sure you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, were quite kind to us. Not in this bit anyway, although we do have some nice fodder for any future SBCs. Of course, we've had Beasley, Lundberg, Andy Robertson and Robbie Keane so far with that regard, but we're waiting for any more. And there you can see him, Team of the Year, Eric Cantona. Not only was a Team of the Year icon pack, but he was tradable, so we have a lot of coins now for any future evolutions and buying any future players for the RTG as well. 1.5 million we're sitting on at the moment, so really, really good boost to the RTG. And I think, you know, after the past couple of performances, we deserved something like that to happen. So, as it stands as well, of course you can't see the bench at the moment, Ross County is the only club not represented on the bench and reserves. Every single other one of the 11 clubs has at least one player in the starting 11, bench or reserves. Of course, Celtic and Rangers do have the most representation at the moment. They're most likely to get special cards, and they were the best cards in terms of players to have for the RTG before we get big boosted players for bronze and silver evolutions. There's been a few transfer cards put into the game from the SPFL so far as well. I've went up and purchased them, a couple to Hearts and stuff like that. Mainly, they've done a fair bit of business as well. Of course, with future stars coming up, there's always the hope that maybe someone like an Arne Engels or a Hamza Egeman, who's not in Ultimate Team yet, but a perfect chance to stick him in is with a promo. Lennon Miller, someone like that will potentially get a future stars. We'll wait and see if EA will be that kind to us. Of course, they did include Cherny and Maeda in the Winter Wildcards promo, so anything's possible, I suppose. But we'll see if that ends up happening. Olasanya, a goal and 2 assists at the weekend. Mandron, 2 goals, so we'll see if we're lucky enough to get any of them in Team of the Week as well. And of course, we're still in the Team of the Year period, so let's see if we get any large boosted Evos during this period as well. I'm sure we'll still get Evos and other promos that should help us out, but I'm really quite pleased with how the team is looking at the moment. Of course, Jack Butland kind of lets it down a little bit in terms of rating, but we have really nicely high rated players, not just in the starting 11 but in the reserves and the bench as well for this stage of the year. And to have 3 players that are 90 plus rated in the starting 11 already, we've got several 89s as well. Really good position to be in for the RTG, and hopefully by the time we get to the end of the year they're all 99 rated with footies and stuff like that, but we shall see how that progresses. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe and check out the other content on the channel, such as prediction videos, match reactions, and I did just upload my first non-football related video to the channel yesterday. For those of you that maybe grew up playing the Luigi's Mansion, might want to give that a wee check out. If not, absolutely fine. I'm just going to upload on this channel what I'm interested in and stuff like that. So if you did like the video, like I said, leave a like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheerio.